Welcome to the party after the party. I'm Anna Scheller, the host of the USA Biz Party Chat. And today we talked about Twitter marketing. Twitter marketing. That was a fascinating conversation about how Twitter can benefit your company and use Twitter as a marketing tool for your company. Now, if you are not familiar with us, I'd love for you to, if you're on Facebook, go to the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/USA Biz Party. Ask to join. We ask just a few questions. You can stay engaged with us there. We're getting ready to do more in our group over there. Also, we do this chat every single Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We look for topics that people are asking questions about, and we try to bring in experts who will help us explore these topics and give new understanding and new ideas to our participants. But I have to tell you, most of our participants are such savvy business owners that they already give great ideas and help each other out. So please check us out. Put it on your calendar. It is 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday. It's on Twitter. It used to be that we were not a very fast-moving chat, but I have to tell you, I'm having trouble keeping up with people on the chat anymore. So please join us. We would love, love, love to have you. Today we had some new people joining us, so we're excited to have them with us. We also had a special guest, Lucy Hall. And Lucy, she is an amazing person. She is she's a social media expert. She is also the founder of Digital Women. And it is her mission through Digital Women to empower over 1 million women digitally and in business to grow and to become more. So it was very exciting to have her join us. Now, whatever platform you're with me on, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, go ahead, say hello in the chat. I can see your comments. I would love to know that you're present with me. And if you have a specific question about Twitter marketing, please ask it in the chat. So right now, if you're joining me live, then I would love for you to put a 1 in the chat if you participated during the actual hour, or if you are watching this after the fact, that would be 2. So number 1 is you were with us during the actual hour of the chat, or 2, you're not, you're just catching this after the chat is over. Hey, there is John Buglino, J Bugs. We love John. John is with Optessa. He was our co-host last week, and we're going to do a special live stream with him later. He talked about innovation and marketing. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. So Twitter marketing, you know, some people think that, well, my peeps aren't on Twitter, so I'm just not going to engage there. And to be honest, while you want to be engaging on the platforms that have your peeps, you really do not want to ignore what the power of Twitter can do for your company. So a lot of people think that if you have a product, that Twitter's not very helpful. But how many times have we thought about, I think one of my favorite, absolute favorite examples is what happened to Wendy's. So Wendy's, they had an item, they had the spicy chicken nuggets. They had it for a while, they took it off, and then a rapper by the name of Chance the Rapper in Chicago, wanted it back. So he wrote this really fun tweet asking Wendy's to bring the spicy nuggets back. Well, Wendy's then responded by saying if they could get, I think they wanted 2 million retweets, I want to say. I'll have to look that up, but they had like 2 million was the number, and I want to say it was retweets of their message responding to Chance the Rapper, then they would bring back the nuggets. Well, lo and behold, they had well over 2 million retweets, and to boot, on top of that, they did end up, I think about 6 months later, bringing the nuggets back online. So can it be powerful for your product? Oh my goodness, absolutely. Absolutely, it can be powerful for your product. You know, one of the things that was brought up, I'm going to talk a little bit later about fleets and spaces. Fleets and spaces. Oh, by the way, thank you for joining me. If you're just joining me right now, please let me know whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook. Say hello in the chat. John's already done that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show his. Thank you so much, John. He is here, and he was here during the chat. He's an active participant in our chat, and we're so proud to have had Uptessa as our sponsor for the telesummit that we did last year. But John is if you want to see a great example of how to use Twitter for your business, you need to be watching John Buglino and how he has expanded his company's presence on Twitter. And through his efforts, not just on Twitter, but across platforms, that they have gotten 2 major new companies that they've just signed on for their company, and all through the use of social media. So John, you can definitely share that in the comments if you don't mind. One of the other questions that we talked about was about how to get PR on Twitter. Now, I should have had this up, but I think I can still pull it up. I want to share with you something about, there is a, if you look up, help a reporter out. So you can look up Haro, Haro. They have a very special hashtag, and I want to say, I should have had this up. I should have had this up and running already. But they have a very special hashtag. If you go to their Twitter, so it's help a reporter out. If you go to their Twitter, let's see, where did it go? They couldn't retrieve that. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not gonna waste our time on that. But I do want you guys to know that if you look for help a reporter out on Twitter, they have a special hashtag that they're looking for something very immediate. It's an urgent need. And so if you have the ability to speak to that need that they're looking for, then go for it. It doesn't cost you anything except some time and a little bit of brain power to put together a response that they can use. They're often, oh yes, so John says you can check out the latest news releases on their blog at uptessa.com/blog. Excellent, excellent. I'll put that there. Realize that news releases, press releases, they are great for branding, and they're great to get establish you as an authority. You want to have a way to use those particular tools for your business in order to garner leads for your business. It's really important that whatever you're doing, you're using that to get more leads for your business. But getting back to help a reporter out, and there are some other PR. If you put a hashtag PR, and then John, can you remember, I haven't got it in front of me, but do you remember what Lucy was saying? There's a hashtag that you can look up for more, to help get more press for your company. I can't remember exactly what that was. So I'll confess, I had originally planned for Lucy to join me, and unfortunately we did not communicate that to Lucy, and she lives in the UK and she has a family to take care of. So Lucy's going to be on another time. We're going to get her on a live stream another time to talk about Twitter marketing. But you can use Twitter for PR purposes. You know, a lot of what came forward was talking about, oh, thank you, John. I'm going to put that in here. So put hashtag PR request and hashtag journo request. So those are two ways that you can start to find places where you can get your name put out as an expert. You want to be known as an expert in your field. And journalists are looking for this stuff all the time. I personally am on the HARO list, which is Help a Reporter Out. You can go to Help a Reporter Out online and you can actually sign up for their lists. And there's a number of different categories that you can sign up for so that you're not on some generic list and you have lots and lots of entries to look through, but rather you can look for specific categories. So the categories that I look to participate in myself, thank you, John. So the categories I look to participate in myself are usually lifestyle and wellness, because I'm in the hospitality industry and a lot of people that come to visit us are looking for ways to stay healthy while they're traveling on the road. I also am in the business and finance area as well because of the work I do with USA Biz Party, and also because of some of the things that I've learned as a small business owner operating a hospitality business on the Texas-Mexico border. So not everything that comes through is going to be your jam. And sometimes they're looking for somebody specific, like an expert in a specific area. So if it's a diet and nutrition, oftentimes they're looking for nutritionists or personal coaches, personal trainers, those kinds of things. But if that's what you are, then I would highly recommend going there. And you can also put HARO on a list so that you can make it one of your favorites, and it will always pop up in your notifications when they have something going on, so you can track. Now, what pops up in Twitter for HARO is usually an extremely immediate need, like they need something within the next 6 hours. So you really, if you're going to use Twitter in that respect, then you really have to stay on top of it. But, using Twitter to market your business, we all agreed that the Twitter chats are a great place to build community. And let's face it, building community is where you're going to start to establish your business as the go-to place in your industry. One of the things that I have enjoyed as a benefit of being the host of USA Biz Party is I have gotten some very strong leads working with people in USA Biz Party. John can attest to it because he and I have talked about how we're going to be working together. Why do I bring that up? Because Twitter chats are a powerful tool to build that trust, and knowing relationship that's so important and is the bedrock of business anywhere. I was in Christine Gritman's chat earlier this morning, and we were talking about the human to human aspect of communication of brands. And over, it was very apparent that brands can often fall short when all of they're doing is basically putting out their party line. So we want to be communicating, and we want to be building the know, like, and trust factor with people, because that, again, is the basis of everything. So if you're with me live or you're on the replay and you've listened to me this long, thank you, number one, for doing that. But number two, put in the chat, yes, if you think that the know, like, and trust factor is critical to the growth of your customer base. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 if you think that there are other factors that are more important to building business in 2021. 1, if you think the know, like, and trust factor is important. 2, if you think there are other factors that are more important. Now, as I'm waiting for people to respond to that, let's talk a little bit about some features on Twitter that can really, really benefit you and your business, and they're new on Twitter. So everybody's familiar with the Facebook and Instagram stories. Twitter now has something comparable called fleets. Fleets. So John just answered, and he said that the know, like, and trust factor are critical for every business. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. We are long past the days when people will buy the product out of convenience, or people will buy a product without knowledge. People can look on the internet to find specs about products. And if we're going to be competing based on price, we're merely a commodity. But if we want to be known for more than just being a commodity, the know, like, and trust factor are critical. Twitter can actually be a very powerful tool. Getting back to my example about Wendy's really endeared themselves to their customer base when they answered Chance the Rapper and they brought that product back. To be honest, I haven't heard of anything similar to it in a long, long time. Now, one of the things I want to share with you that I put up, let me see, there's something going on here. Let's see, Theodora, is she joining me? Let me see. I may be having somebody join me. Wouldn't that be fun? That way you guys don't have to listen to me alone. She's not here quite yet. Okay, I wanted to share this one piece because I found it. Now, it's a 10-year-old piece of information, but I think it is still quite relevant. So this is from the Marketing Pros. And they say, so one of the questions we asked is it true or false that Twitter is one of the most important social networks for business, even if your audience isn't active on it? And we did get quite a bit of good discussion about it. So some people would say, yes, it is. And others would say, if it's not where your primary market is, that you shouldn't be investing in Twitter. But here's something to consider, that Twitter can be a valuable tool for marketing and reputation management. According to the Marketing Profs, they say that active Twitter users who follow at least one brand are more likely to recommend a brand they follow by 59% and more likely to buy a product they follow. So, is it valuable to have a presence on Twitter? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to tell you, I think one of the beautiful things about Twitter is it only has to, oh, there's Theodora. She is here. All right. There she is. Theodora, you are muted.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Delightful to hear the voice and see your face.
Yes, because I've seen you before, but I think you haven't seen me before, right?
No. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. And if you are interested in joining the stream, I will tell you I am selective about who I let join me on the stage. I do have to know you, and you do have to engage with me. We were talking about the know, like, and trust factor. Let me tell you, you will be on stage with me if I know, like, and trust you. So tell me, Theodora, what was one of your biggest, I want to talk a little bit about fleets and spaces, but what was your biggest takeaway from today's chat? And just a minute, John, if you would like to join us as well, I'm happy to send you the link. So all you have to do is post a comment and let me know. Okay, so what was your biggest takeaway, Theodora?
Well, honestly, I think today.
Okay, was that okay?
And I didn't know. I mean, I tried to use Helper Reporter in the past and didn't work well for me.
Uh-huh.
and all the tips you've shared today during our chat and now on the live stream, I'm definitely going back to it and subscribe again.
Yeah, I did think that it was a really, at first I was a little overwhelmed.
Am I frozen?
Are you frozen? Am I frozen? I might be frozen. Let's see. Can you hear me? You're moving. Can you hear me okay? She'll be back. She'll be back. Okay. So let's see. There you are. I'll bring you back in, Theodora. There you are.
Sorry, someone was frozen. I don't know if it was me or something. My internet connection went off.
So sorry, but you were saying about Haro.
Yes.
And you were saying that it was difficult for you to use. What was it that you found challenging about Haro?
Keeping up with it. 3 emails a day were like scary. I tried to answer some queries there, some questions. I got some answers back with link exchange requests, or having me paid to be mentioned in to be mentioned in an article. And I just said, okay, maybe this isn't exactly what I was looking for. And at some point there were like too many emails in my inbox,
Yes. Yeah, that is a challenge with Haro. My assistant, she goes, "What is Haro?" So I had to explain it to her. And so her job is actually to look for things that I could comment on, because it is overwhelming. There is a lot of information that gets asked for. But you can also, I've found that I think they have some really good ideas for blog posts or social media posts that you could use for your business. So maybe you're reluctant to be showcased in somebody's report or whatever, somebody's journal entry. But here's my thinking, Theodora, and this is probably a great point to agree. It doesn't hurt to try. If you see something, it doesn't hurt to try. It is a little challenging. It's challenging to have all of those emails. So I must confess, some days I have to remind myself that the reason I just have to go through and start deleting them, because they're not all worth saving. Not all of those are worth saving. And now we have John joining us. Hello, John.
Hi.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. There we go. Now we're all. So this is a great group. Have you had much experience with Haro, John? We're talking about Haro.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you sent me a couple of links before, but I've used them in the past. It kind of hit or miss, to be honest with you. But when you get an opportunity or bid for an opportunity, if you will, it could be pretty rewarding, because then the reporters come back to you. You get all the information about the news as it's released. So it's pretty powerful once you actually get that first exposure.
Right. And I'm still working. I'll be honest, I'm still working on it. So, because it's a lot of information. Theodora was saying how much you get sent. So 3 emails a day, and I'm on 3 different lists, and then you get sent the summary. So I actually get 12 emails a day just from Haro.
Beauty of filters.
Yeah, right. But one of the other things I want to talk about, maybe, so Clubhouse is really big right now, and Theodora is not there yet. John joined me yesterday on Clubhouse, where we talked about innovation, and so we're going to do another live stream together where we're going to talk specifically about that. Twitter is starting to put together, has started, they're in a beta program, and you still have to be invited. So it was like Clubhouse, because Clubhouse, you still have to have invites to get onto Clubhouse. But Twitter's now got spaces that they're playing around with. Have either of you been in a space, which is essentially a Clubhouse room, but on Twitter? I hope Twitter doesn't get mad at me for that.
No, I've seen others in the industry and others that are part of like different chats and different things involved in Spaces in the beta, and they've said nothing but great things about it. But I've not been personally exposed to it other than hearing about it from others in the space.
And Theodora?
I'm not sure. At some point, I think I saw something, up there where the fleets are, like a group of people together, but I didn't click because it was late and I was having to do something different. But I would really like to try it, honestly. It's something that attracts me even more than Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm. I know right now it's still in iOS, and I know you're familiar with Madeline Sklar?
Yes.
So she's out of Houston. She's only about 300 miles away from me. We still have to meet in person, but she's so fabulous. But she's been one of the early adopters of Spaces. And of course, she's considered a brand, what they call them, brand ambassador for Twitter. So she's been using it. And from what I've seen, it operates very similar to Clubhouse in that basically you're online audio only with a bunch of people. And so it'll be interesting to see how that rolls out and how effective and how important that can become all right, excuse me just a minute. The husband doesn't know that I'm online. So I can't find my phone. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Good news about this is I can edit it later. So getting back to see, we were talking about Spaces. Now, see, I'm young. I'm really young. I'm very young. This is not senility. I think the Spaces will be really important for businesses. That's where we were going with it. Once it's opened up to more users, I think it's still in iOS right now. So if you have an older iOS, but I'd like to see how it's gonna benefit people, and hopefully they'll open it up to Android users sooner than Clubhouse has been opening up to Android users, because that's been a real, I guess, difficulty with Clubhouse, is that if you're an Android user, you can't get on yet. Have you done? I think I'm having trouble.
Is it me again?
I think it might be Anna this time.
Oh, because sometimes my connection just, I don't know, slows down. Yeah. It's nice to finally meet you, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, likewise.
I mean, I've been liking your tweets, but I didn't know the person behind the tweets, personally.
We missed the live stream last week when I was hosting, because all the weather that Anna was having. So we just kind of postponed it for now. We did a Clubhouse last night, and we're going to try and get another live stream going at some point, probably next month, considering that's next week. But yeah, I've been working with Anna for on and off around like 3 years now, which is fantastic. Cool. So I'm definitely one of the frequents of USA Biz Party and things like that. So it's definitely been very, very helpful, and she's been outstanding for me and the businesses I've been a part of.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty lovely, and she got me an invitation to one of her events. I think it was before Christmas or around Christmas. Anyway, yeah, I'm new to Twitter chats. I'm new to Twitter, actually, because I have an account. I created the account in 2009, but I haven't used it until last August.
Okay.
And last August, I think I tweeted once, probably, but twice. I started in November, let's say. So it was probably thanks to Twitter chats that I gave Twitter a second chance, you know.
Yeah, the chats have been crazy, especially from like the volume of them that have come out. And there's like a couple of us in the USA Biz Party, and there's a couple other ones that we're a part of. And there's like days where it's like there's like 7 in a day, and it's just like, what do you do? It's just like chat to chat. You know, so I did that a couple of times, but it was just like the day is shot at that point, because you're just going every hour is just another piece of content or another group to engage with, which is fun, but at the same time it's completely taxing and just like where did the time go? So I've been kind of picking and choosing the communities I've been a part of, and USA Biz Party, like I said, been about 3 years now that we've been doing stuff. And there's been a couple other ones where I'm about a year and a half in as well. So I met so many, you know, interesting people and different areas of business and just little tools and little tips and tricks. So it's just been very rewarding for me and very helpful for me and, you know, my career and things like that. So it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's fun actually, because honestly, right now I'm not sure if I use Twitter for business or for like trying to build a personal brand for some future benefit. I'm not sure, because I dedicate most of the time to having fun with Twitter and trying to keep my like a maximum of 3 or 4 chats a day, especially if they're like at the same time, because I can't dedicate more than like 2 or maximum 3 hours to this.
Sure.
And luckily, some of the chats are like super late at night, because it's 8:30 here p.m., 8:40 p.m. here, so it's pretty late. It's not like during work hours.
Sure.
So it's an advantage for me, because you know I like function on 2 different time zones. Yeah, because otherwise it would be impossible.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like usually, like right now, it's 2:40 my time. You know, so I'm about an hour behind Anna. You know, so it's just finding that balance, like during the middle of the day. You know, just to kind of go through things. And usually, like my Tuesday and Thursday is pretty heavy with different chats that I'm a part of, or you know, catch up on things like that. And there's a couple that are late at night. You know, similar to you, like you know, 7, 8 o'clock at night. You know, it's just good at the end of the day, just kind of just engage with different community, learn something, and just have some like little wind down after the day's over. So no, it's been a tremendous outlet for me, from a personal standpoint, also from a business standpoint as well. So yeah.
It's useful. Who invented Twitter chats, by the way? Was Twitter, or was it some Twitter user?
I don't know. I think it's the beauty of the hashtag. I think that's, you know, people just started to just utilize those, you know, because it's just like, it's basically like a subject line, and then just everyone just continues to add on to those different threads. But I would say like the last couple of years, I think the chats have expanded. I know Madeline Sklar, I know Anna mentioned her. She has a tremendous list, and there's like 80 different chats on there. You know, all different time zones, all different topics, all different industry leaders, things like that. So it's definitely one of those things you can get sucked into, but they're also very rewarding, because you meet new people, new communities, and you never know where the business is going to lead as a result of each of those. So it's pretty unique.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I remember the first chat I was on was, I can't remember actually. I think it was Content Marketing Institute, but I have no idea how I landed there. No. And then I just Googled Twitter chats. What are Twitter chats? Because I gave an answer there. I had like retweets and comments. It hadn't happened to me before. So I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was happening there. So I just answered and got all this engagement back. And I said, okay, this is something I might want to go into. So I just Googled what are Twitter chats. And
Yep.
This is how I got into Twitter Smarter. And then she has a list of all other Twitter chats you could join. So at the beginning, I was like, fearing of missing out. So I tried to join as many Twitter chats as possible. And I didn't understand why you can't just follow hashtags or get notifications like it happens on LinkedIn, right? You follow a hashtag. So how do I do that? At the beginning with Twitter, like, how do I do this? How do I do this? What is this on Twitter? And now I recommend Twitter chats to everyone who wants to try Twitter. I said, what's so fun about Twitter? I said, Twitter chats. You have to do Twitter chats. If you're not participating in at least 2 or 3 a week, it's like you're not living.
Yeah, I think I started with a couple of chats, and then there was Social Media Marketing World. I think from 2019 was one that really took over for me. It was by the Content Marketing Institute, CM World, and they had a chat, and Hootsuite has a chat. But yes, Social Media Marketing World 2019 was where I really kind of met Madeline Sklar and her group, and was involved with Twitter Smarter. And then I actually integrated her calendar chats with my calendar. So then it was, here's my meeting, and here's 3 other Twitter chats happening at the same time. So it was just finding that, going into each of those chats to figure out, is this the right audience for me? Is this the right community? But yeah, like you said, like you could probably do about 3 a day if you really wanted to. But it's important to, to find at least a few that you're going to, dedicate the time to. So I have a couple each day that I incorporate in to my, everyday kind of list of things that I'm going to do. With Tuesdays and Thursdays probably be my heaviest days when it comes to Twitter chats. But
mine too.
Yeah, they and luckily some of them fall at different times. This way I'm not, TweetDeck isn't going crazy with different types of, everyone, commenting and retweeting and different things and keeping track of it. So it's been good. It's been rewarding. And I really do enjoy them. Yeah, they're a tremendous outlet. And also the Twitter lists have helped me as well. So making sure that I keep track of everyone from each of the communities and making sure I know who's tweeting what and what they've said, and also helps me as I go to the next chat, figuring out what I missed last week, or it's like a nice reminder about who was there and did we engage, how we engaged, to kind of keep those conversations going for sure.
I'm not sure I know how to use Twitter lists for now. Still learning that. I'll try it.
Yeah, it's a good way to you can add people to the list. So I have like a USA Biz Party list. I have a list for each one of the chats I'm a part of, and then I just add people to the list. The beauty of it is that people know when you're added to the list, so they get an idea of like, oh, maybe I'll add myself to a list, or maybe I'll create a similar list. So you can just be added to, and usually people that join like the USA Biz Party chat or other chats I'm a part of, and they're pretty active, I'll add them to the list. I'm not going to just someone that just goes on and just retweets for retweet's sake. I want to engage with people. That's the whole purpose of Twitter, is to engage. I want to learn from other people, and I want to, get better professionally. So I add people to the list strategically, but that's something you can absolutely look into as a Twitter hack. I think it's a differentiator for Twitter is the lists. I think LinkedIn's trying it with their, hashtags, but the lists are a differentiator for me. Especially if you have different influencers and things like that. So I think that's something to definitely look into on your end for sure.
Yeah, I need to learn how to use that, because I think I've been added to several lists, because at some point I got some notifications, but I'm not sure if I have a list or something.
They added, if you're on desktop, which I think you are, or laptop, whatever it is, and you're in Twitter, you can, on the left-hand side, they have lists, and you can easily see if you're a part of a list, or create your own list, or pin a list, so they make it very easy to do. So it's something that is another one of those, dedicate at least an hour, because it's gonna be a little bit of a time suck. But once it's set up, it's fantastic, because then you just go into the list, you load up, say like I have my USA Biz Party one, and I just get every tweet from everyone involved with the USA Biz Party to see what's happening in their world. And that's how it increases the engagement in the conversations, because some people are writing books, or some people are hosting events, or some people are speaking over here. So now it's a matter of just following up and continuing that conversation in a different way, for sure.
Well, for now, I just have like your lists. And there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lists here. But I don't think I created this. No, I haven't.
Yeah, sometimes, you'll get added to lists, and then you'll get notified. It's like a brief notification. So if you have a lot of notifications coming through, you can it could get lost. But yeah, this is where you go into your list, and you'll be able to see ones that you have, and there's even lists that you're a part of that you can see as well.
Oh my God. So I have like I found the place that's called Lists You're On, and I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 lists. I had no idea I was in so many lists.
Yeah, see, so you're on 17 different individuals lists, and that's fantastic. You can find out, and you can look at and see who added you, why they add you, and just if you want to not be on the list, you can kind of ask them to take you off. But it's good. It's an excellent resource. Like I said, you don't even realize you're on them, but it's definitely something that's powerful, at least for me.
Yeah, I still have a lot to learn about Twitter. I love it when Twitter chats are focused on learning about Twitter, because I feel like there's so much to learn about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, the chat today was fantastic. I just sent Anna a note, let her know that we're still on. I don't know if her internet is still out or not, but I'll wait and see if she responds to see if she's going to join back up and see.
Yeah, well, I gotta go because it's 10 minutes to 9 here. So my kids are running in the background. I can hear them yelling. So probably I should, go there and put them to bed. And honestly, it's about time we start watching a new episode of Star Trek. So.
Well, you enjoy that. It was a pleasure meeting you. And definitely look forward to talking more on the USA Biz Party for sure.
Yeah, can't wait for next week. Because right now my weekdays are no longer Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like on Monday I have socially content chat. On Tuesday I have chat about brand and USA Biz Party. And then I think on Wednesday there's the CM World, right? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Thursday it's like it's raining Twitter chats. And on Friday I have Pop Chat, MT Talk, if I remember well, and Remote Chat. So it's no longer weekdays have changed their names for me.
No, that's awesome. No.
So see you next USA Biz Party today.
All right, sounds good. Have a good one. Thanks again.
Thank you. Let me see how I can exit from here. Oh, yeah, there's a red button here. Thank you. Bye.